Morning, colleagues.
Vilakazi usalele awulale kancane please.
Hawu, ungasho nginifica senikhona la. Bafethu, it's the early bird that catches the worm. Let's catch the worms. Sivukeni.
I am already here. Count me in.
Hayi, asibonge.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, members. Chair will be joining shortly. She's just struggling to connect, but she will join shortly. Thank you very much. Oh, there she is now. Thank you, members.
Good morning, honorable members, committee staff. Sincere apologies for joining late. I'm just trying to pack so I can leave. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Chairperson.
Good morning, Chair.
Good morning, and colleagues.
Can I check with the secretariat if we have everybody in the meeting who should be here?
Good morning, Chairperson. Mr. Souls, Chair, as you would be aware, he's traveled abroad, and there was an indication from his office that we would be getting a list of names from him. I'm still waiting. I checked with them this morning again, and they said they were still going to send. Mr. Marara is on the bus traveling, Chairperson, and I think all the other members are here. So it's just those two, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. How big is this committee, Ganen Maspelel?
It's seven members, Clan.
Okay. All right. Do we have an agenda? I know that the main item of the agenda is the shortlisting, but I wanted to check if there are any formalities that you would have prepared around that, Mr. Ngoma.
Chair, as you rightfully put it, today's agenda is just a short listing. So we had provided all the necessary documents to members as we undertook in our last meeting. So we are hoping that in this meeting, we're just going to go straight into short listing. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Ngoma. So maybe let's kickstart by saying that I hope you're in the right subcommittee. This is the subcommittee on the filling of the 2 vacancies that exist at the Media Development and Diversity Agency, the MDDA. We had our first meeting, if I'm not mistaken, last week, wherein we would have outlined a process towards filling those vacancies as by law. Honorable Vilakazi, why are you intimidating me? I'm still opening the meeting.
My
Honorable Vilakazi?
sincerest apologies, Chair. I was hoping you would wait until you finished before you acknowledged me. I just wanted to check. I see there's parliamentary streaming and Parliament TV amongst the attendees. Is the meeting being streamed live or is it being pre-recorded? I just wanted to confirm that, Chair.
I'm sure we can get clarity on whether it's pre-recorded or live, but I mean, as you know, Honorable Vilakazi, which was not your question, but just to clarify that the meetings or any subcommittee meeting is treated in the same manner as a parliamentary, a portfolio committee meeting in terms of the rules. But can we get clarity, Mr. Ngoma, whether there's live streaming or anything else of that nature? Mr. Ngoma?
Thank you, Chairperson. I just had to quickly check as I'm talking to you, Chair. I'm also looking to you on channel 408, and will be on all parliamentary social media platforms. As you had rightfully indicated, meetings of the subcommittee are treated in exactly the same manner as the meetings of the committees. So yes, we are live. Thank you very much, Chair.
Yeah, so early in the morning, our problems are many. Okay, so as indicated, this is a meeting to shortlist candidates for the Media Development and Diversity Agency as per the MDDA Act, according to which a certain number of vacancies in the MDDA are filled directly by Parliament. You will know that in the board of the MDDA, there are industry representatives as well as shareholder representatives. We as Parliament are responsible for a set number, which I believe is 6. So in last week's meeting, we shared with the members the profiles of all the candidates who had been nominated for the positions. We also shared the current board in terms of demographic makeup, in terms of the skills of the current board, and you had obviously received the advertisement as well, which would have gone out calling for nominations and right at the beginning of the process. So political parties were then given an opportunity to engage with their caucuses around the names to be shortlisted. And the purpose of this meeting today is really to then do that shortlist, come to an agreed number. Now, in terms of the number, we had in the last exercise where we were filling vacancies, I think it was for ICASA, we agreed that an acceptable formula, and I'm saying acceptable for that subcommittee, we may feel differently. An acceptable formula would be 1.5 persons for each vacant position, which in this case, since we are seeking to fill 2 vacancies, perhaps we would want to shortlist 6 candidates so that we have quite a varied pool to choose from. But then again, I will be guided by members in terms of how many they think that there is enough, but I think we must be reasonable. Let me then not waste any time. How we are going to do this, honorable members, or what I'm proposing is that let us get from each political party their proposed shortlist. Where there is perhaps common names across political parties, we agree on those names. Where we do not, maybe we want to convince one another, we want to discuss why this candidate and not that other candidate must be shortlisted. Can I check if that is agreeable in terms of procedure to members, or if you have any other recommendations? Thank you, Honorable Vilakazi. Okay, I'm not seeing any differing view. So may I start then? May I then first call upon the African National Congress, Honorable Subrathi, if you could lead us in the ANC names?
Well, thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, in my background, I'm very pleased to show my background is the school called Clarence Road Primary School, where we had the opening of a coding and robotics center a few months ago.
Oh,
So I'm using
wow.
that.
Congratulations.
That's the learners, the 1,200 learners from the underprivileged backgrounds will benefit from a 900,000 rand investment through our constituency office we managed to secure. since our back to school programs that we started beginning this year. So I'm very pleased that I may be very proudly using that as my background. Jefferson, thank you so much for this opportunity to engage and to share with you what the reflections were of the African National Congress in presenting a list for today. Just maybe by virtue of background, the kind of approach we used, the first approach we used, we looked at the current skill set of the board, as well as what we felt was what was lacking. And we also looked at the current composition of the board, which is an important consideration in terms of gender equality. And we found that the current board members are 5 males and only 1 female. And we felt that any consideration of candidates must have a strong weighting towards achieving that type of gender equality. So we did give female candidates, look very closely at female candidates. The second element we looked at was also what we felt was needed to strengthen the board, given our background and our oversight of MDDA. And we felt that we should consider candidates who have a background in ICT, in engineering, in that technical aspect, as well as we should give consideration to candidates who have a background in finance and in economics. We felt that those 2 skills were needed in candidates when we approached our selection. And of course, we did give consideration of, we did consider elements such as youth, consideration of experiences, sitting on board of the candidates. So that was a kind of a collective approach we used. And candidate Chairperson, therefore, the candidates that we have enlisted in order of priority, in terms of who we felt from beginning, number 1 is some of them I'll have the reference numbers and some I might not have the reference numbers. So I'll appreciate if Secretariat can just assist me. In other words, the number that's referenced. Dr. Lario Molongane, and that is candidate number 2. Candidate number 2 has a background in information systems. So that'll be number 1, but reference number 2 in terms of the list that was sent to us. The second is Dr. Natalie Skippers. She's got a background in engineering management. I think she's referenced as number 3. The third candidate we have is MS Melanie Roy. Melanie Roy's background is in research and technology. I'd like to be assisted with the reference for that, please. The fourth one is MS Mpumelele Lungwane. She's got a background in development finance. We've got 8 candidates here, Chairperson. Then the 5th candidate is MS Mshlalako Maleka. She's a chartered accountant. The 6th candidate is MS Zinzi Lutuli, background in business management, candidate number 107. Our 7th candidate is MS Guguletu Princess, background in financial planning, candidate number 6. And our 8th candidate is MS Fodisho Sharon Morokong. She's candidate number 7. She's 30 years old. And I thought that was our candidate. We wanted to try and find one candidate is from the youth, a young candidate who we can give the opportunity for their shortlisting. Thank you so much, Jefferson. That is the list from the African National Congress.
Thank you very much, Honorable Subrathi. I'm not sure if all members managed to get that list. Could I then request that you also post it in the group so that we're able to refer? But thank you very much, Honorable Subrathi. May I move over to the Democratic Alliance?
Thank you very much, Chair. The Democratic Alliance's list has already been shared on the group. And in a similar manner to what the Honorable Subrathi detailed, we also looked at what could be necessary on the board. We noted the heavily male composition of the current board, and so we excluded all male candidates. We were only going to look at women candidates, and we also looked at what could be needed on the board at this point in time. The one thing that we note is MDDA's need for finances for sustainability. And so we wanted people who are steeped in the sector, familiar with the sector, and who would be able to reach out to help the MDDA reach out to a diverse set of stakeholders. The one thing that we did note was that the current board is heavily provided insofar as legal expertise goes. And we also felt that, and especially looking at the profiles, there were some who were acquainted or familiar with social media, digital media, and the use of digital media. Now we know that this is a move that the MDDA is itself looking to encourage among its beneficiaries, and so it needs to have the capacity in-house to be able to assist the beneficiaries in moving in this direction. And so for the DA, then the names that were put up were as follows. There is Miss Chantel Manuel, who is 46 years old. She's a journalist and a community media practitioner with over 20 years experience in this field. She also happens to be colored. And she appears colored. Let me say, I don't want to make an assumption, but clearly not African black, and that helps towards ensuring the diversity that I know the committee speaks strongly about. There was also number 2 was Dr. Rofiwa Mukudwana, who's an academic in the media space, particularly community media. She, according to her profile, has done a lot of work in bridging the gap, the communication gap between government and or within government, and then also between government and external stakeholders. And we felt that this is a capacity that the MDDA needs to be able to reach out to various stakeholders. Also, it's a skill that would even contribute towards helping the GCIS in a way as it looks to build up its 30% advertising spend amongst government departments towards community media. So the MDDA, if it had capacity in that regard, could also assist. And so we felt that Dr. Mukudwana could help in that way. She was also named in 2022 amongst the 200 young South Africans that the Mail and Guardian lists who are doing great things, achieving great things. And so she's clearly a go-getter and someone who would bring dynamism to the MDDA board, we felt. And then thirdly, it was Ms. Bernadette Muthian. She is 59 years old. However, she also has, not however, she's 59 years old and brings a wealth of experience across community media and various kinds of media. She also is not, she also adds to diversity on the board, but she is just, I copied a bit of her bio that I could find online onto the list that I've shared with the committee. She's served on the Constitutional Commission for Cultural, Religious, and Linguistic Rights. And I feel that's a strength that we need on the MDDA because it is meant to be representative of all linguistic groups and rights of marginalized communities. And so she is third. Fourth, we put Ms. Kanyama Semnyanzi. Members may have seen her in committee meetings. She attends community meetings regularly. She is head of transformation at ACT, the Association for Communications for Telcos. And she is being familiar with the field. Firstly, she's familiar even with the work of this committee. She's familiar with the work of the MDDA. She joined us during our oversight visit to the Eastern Cape in October last year. So she was going around. She has seen how the media, community media, is doing all around other parts, the various parts of the country. She's highly supportive of the portfolio committee, and I raise this just to show her dynamism and the range of impact that she has. I know that together with ACT, she was at the forefront because she did the course herself on governance in the digital era for members of parliament. So ACT is supporting the cost of that course for members of parliament. She was number 4. Number 5 was Miss Umukholo Dauniane. She's qualified and experienced in media and within government. She's worked in the presidency and various other parts of our government. She heads up a gender-based violence focused not-for-profit that she started. And I felt this was key because if you think about one of the major scourges in our communities, and particularly rural communities or outlying communities, it's gender-based violence. And so someone like her on the board could help with proven methodologies for helping community media play a substantive role and a crucial role in curbing the scourge of gender-based violence. And I think she holds a strategic advantage in that regard, quite apart from the fact that she's well familiar with the sector, particularly at the community media level. Miss Tando Ndunja has a qualification. She's number 6 on our list. She's 41 years old, has a qualification in journalism, extensive experience in radio, as well as in digital media chair, which is what I said earlier. We feel that it should be a thrust of the MDDA. And the MDDA itself speaks of the digitalization across the community media sector. And if you've got somebody like her, she can make a useful input in terms of that direction, particularly at this time when we really do need to ramp up the digitalization and use of digital technologies within the community media sector. Number 7 was Miss Thokozile Maqhiga. She's 34 years old. She has qualifications in journalism, media, and publishing, and works as an editor, and has worked for various publishers. We felt that she would be a good fit because she is familiar with the publishing landscape and would be. It seems that her experience has been in the commercial media, but that media generally does work in many instances closely with community media. But even if it doesn't, she will be familiar with many of the challenges that community media face, but also having the experience within commercial media could provide, if not networks, then skills and capacity that could help the community media sector to improve. And then lastly, it was Miss Tembisa Mjiba Makasi. She's 52 years old. She's involved. She has an extensive history in community media and has, in fact, been funded by the MDDA herself as a beneficiary. And I don't think there's anybody better than that to understand the work of the MDDA, to understand the needs of the sector, and therefore be able to direct the work of the MDDA in the right direction. She also sits on the board of the Independent Association of Publishers, and we heard from them during our portfolio oversight visit to Gauteng earlier this year. And so she seems to be familiar with all the relevant concerns of the sector at this time. She brings maturity and familiarity with the sector. And so, Chair, for us, it was more around what could the practical contributions be of these potential candidates, and what could they bring not just to the board but to the sector at this point in time. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Vilakazi. Can I move over to Mkondo Wesizwe Party?
Thank you, Chair. Sanibonani again, Chair. Chair, usuka ngifake emva Honorable Subrabi no-Honorable Vilakazi. Hey, baya motivate, and I feel like I didn't do my work as such if I motivate kangaka. So,
Gwaza mkhondo, uba.
kwazekhaya. So, Chair, what we did, we discussed this thing in terms of in need, yale board, what does it need? Number two, we based our reason on qualifications and experience that we saw on their CVs, and mostly age was important. Youth need to be included. We were a bit disappointed where we couldn't find a name that is that represents people living with disability. We wanted to also have a listing on that one. And then we also look at mostly female, young female with a lot of experience. Most of our candidates that we've selected, the qualifications amounts from journalism, commercial science and stuff like that. And then most of the Bachelor of Arts, most of them. So I'll just give you the names as I've said that I didn't do as much as Ubabu Vilakazi motivates. So our first candidate, Chair, was Uthembile Nkosi, a 35-year-old, number 70, a female, who understands working with people and administration in business. We saw the need to understand ukuthi imali kumele zingadliwa careless. So we decided on that one, that business asike silinake, so that they'll be able to at least help lama entities, lama lokhu siwasiza with administration in business and understanding of financials and all that. And then we went to number 151, which is Miss Miponi Malefone, female, also as journalism in media. Then our third was Miss Onkgopotse Phala, a female on 34 years old, Bachelor of Commerce as well, and in informatics. We also added a young man called Uthokozane Dladla, a 29-year-old who's law, has LLB and also has journalism. Then we then took also number 42, Mr. Grant Son, for diversity of race, and we hope and wish he's colored or either any other race other than black. A male, a 49-year-old male with a PhD in business, and has also worked with SARS, and the vast knowledge with SARS when we checked that kakhulu. And then we also went for number 46, Miss Siyamyaleza Miti, a 48-year-old female, who is a writer, a freelance writer, a journalist, and works in mostly more organizations, works with a lot of people, understands organization, understands working under pressure. Okay, that's for the CV, that's fine. So that's why how far we went. And then the last one, Chair, is number 74, Mr. Marcelion Martin. We also hope he is not maybe he's colored or white or Indian, who holds a Bachelor of Arts in integrated organizational whatever. So I was supposed to be a doctor, Chair. I did my handwriting. Yeah, so that's what we've decided on, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. MK Economic Freedom Fighters.
Good morning, Chairperson and colleagues. As the Economic Freedom Fighters, we believe in women leadership and excellence. And the name I'm about to propose now covers that, Chairperson. So we propose the name of Miss Moiponi Malefane, who is a household name, in the media space, an award-winning journalist. I think people who are familiar with the media space would never not know Ms. Malefane. And I think having done Chairperson, the oversight that we did the last time, especially in community radio stations, one of the things that stood out for me is maybe the importance of understanding the political space, which is what Ms. Malefane understands, because she understands the breaking of news. She understands how to, have complicated and difficult conversations with different politicians, but still maintains integrity, because that is very key for spaces like community radio stations. And we were exposed to that we now have people who've got preferences and everything like that. So she does have experience in maintaining relations with different political parties, still have these difficult conversations, but still maintain integrity. So she has leadership experience, having been an editor of the Sowetan. She's worked in different, I suppose, although it's a different medium, because she's more print, her experience. But we thought to have a chairperson that it is familiar space, print and radio. Sitting on the board of radio, she'll be able to share the experiences she has, and also as a politics writer, because she's been a politics writer as well. She understands that, because I think for me and for us, having done those oversight visits, you then realize that people don't know how to navigate the political space, still do your work, but still not be affiliated with anyone, giving a fair chance and a fair share to everybody, Chair. And I think her being a woman, and her having the experience that she has, and her having shown those qualities, Chairperson, we move for the name of Ms. Moipone Malefane. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Elisha. Did we receive the list from Honorable Souls as a representative of the smaller parties?
Person and members, yes, good morning. Chair, the names that I would have received from the PA as a representative of the smaller parties. The first one, Chair, is Miss Melanie Roy. The second one is Miss Sandia Daka. The third one is Dr. Natalie Skippers. The fourth one is Mr. Ashley Lachu. The fifth one is Mr. Marcelino Martin. The sixth one is Mr. Hassan Abarder. The seventh one is Mr. Johannes Mostert. And the eighth person is Mr. Geshwell Brooks. Those are the names eight names that I had received from the Patriotic Alliance chairperson. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Ngoma, for those names on behalf of the smaller parties. Honorable members, you did not consult each other. I remember, I think it was Honorable Shongwe, if I'm not mistaken, who was speaking at the tribute to Honorable Sithole, about how Honorable Sithole would go around to make sure that this process was as easy as possible, with many names being common. But I'm going to propose we do like this. I'm going to take names that appear across two parties, and then we may need to come back for an engagement. If we're not able to have an engagement, then I'm going to request that you please go and convince one another if we're not moving. So from the African National Congress and the PA, We have Dr. Natalie Skeepers and Miss Melanie Roy. Those are the ones that I'm seeing that are common. So that's two names. Then from the EFF and the MK, we've got Miss Moiponi Malifane, which, if members are agreeing with me, would join Melanie Roy, Natalie Skippers, and Moiponi Malifane. Then I can't find any similarities between the names of all of the other parties with the names of the Democratic Alliance. And the names in the other parties don't also seem to. Oh, yeah. Then there's the name of Marcelino Martin between the MK and the PA. And I want us to take a decision, honorable members, on this issue of gender. We are not discriminating against men, but the constitutional imperative of redress and obviously a number of laws that have been enacted across the country towards gender empowerment demands that there should be equitable representation of both genders in various positions of responsibility. That being the case, with only one woman currently serving in the board, I think it stands to reason that we are looking for two female candidates. Now, I'm hesitant for us to shortlist males with that type of background, but I will be guided by yourselves. So I'm sitting with Ms. Melanie Roy, Dr. Natalie Skeepers, Miss Malefane, and then a question mark around Marcelo Martin. Can you show the table that you had up there, Mr. Ngoma?
Thank you, Chair. There's the table, Chair. If Mr. Malega can just agree, I know he's also assisting with a similar table. If you can just agree that I've captured the names correctly, but that's the table that I've developed, Chair. Thank you very much.
Okay, let me open up for discussions. Maybe one of the honorable members would have been convinced by a name that they hear from another party outside of their party. And if we are sitting on 3 or 4 names, we still need another 3 or 4 or 5, depending on what you want. Can I check with the African National Congress? Yes, Honorable Subrathi.
Chairperson, thank you for this opportunity again. Chairperson, I would propose the following. Firstly, there was a candidate that the DA raised called Chantal Manuel, which is not on the list of the 8 that I provided, the ANC provided, but I'm quite happy to support Chantal Manuel of the DA. And I'm proposing as a way forward, as an option. You've indicated that we need at least, we've got 3 names, I think, that cut across. There's Melanie Roy, Dr. Natalie Skeepers, and there's the candidate that's common to EFF and MK. That's 3 candidates that we know have some commonality. So I'm suggesting that the ANC will support the candidature of Chantal Manuel, though she never make it on our final list. She was on our kind of the ANC shortlist before we submitted the 8 names. And I'm additionally suggesting that each of us, the remaining parties, if Chantal is the one from each of us select one candidate, Chairperson, that we believe is the one candidate that we want to give an opportunity to be interviewed, and that will make up the 4 or 5 candidates that you are suggesting. And the ANC has one candidate, that is Dr. Lario Mulongane, that we will consider to be the one candidate of that 5 spaces that you're looking for, Chairperson. That's my proposal, that each of us submits the one candidate that we believe should be given opportunity to be shortlisted. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Subrathi, and thank you for that suggestion. With that being said then, and assuming that all parties agree with that approach, I'm sitting with Ms. Melanie Roy, Dr. Natalie Skeepers, Ms. Malifane, Ms. Manuel, and then Dr. Lario Malungane Mancha from the African National Congress. Honorable Vilakazi?
Chair, the doctor that you just mentioned last, Malungane,
Malungane Mancha.
is that a woman or a man?
Female.
Okay. I am happy with the suggestion. Firstly, just to say that I do, as you stated, support going for women candidates only at this point, because the most we can get anyway in there is two. And should we get one of them as a man, we further skew the gender dynamic within within the board, which is what we are looking to address. And so I'm happy with the names that we have at this point in time. And if I were to propose just one more from the DA, it would probably be our second listed candidate, Umama, the young doctor. Give me a moment to just get the right. Dr. Rofiwa Mukudwana. We feel that she can really add a lot of value with her, particularly coming from the academic space. She can help. One of the things that I feel we battle with within the entities many times is just having a theoretical grounding of the work that they are doing and a good understanding of the why they even exist as entities. And so someone with the extensive experience like her, also having experience within government, would contribute substantively. So Dr. Rofiwa Mukudwana would be our proposed other candidate here.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Vilakazi. Honorable Alicia, I see your hand is up.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I'm happy to support the name of Ms. Tembile Ngosi, who's a young woman who I'm looking at her profile right now. I think she does deserve an opportunity to be interviewed by us. Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to raise her name.
Thank you very much. Honorable Shongwe?
No, Chair, I think I'm also still supporting Ms. Muiponi Molefane from EFF. I think she deserves this opportunity because of a vast experience in media and journalism. Specifically, the motivation of Honorable Mqedishi is more of Oguti. She can't be biased in terms of...
Honorable Shongwa, I'm going to stop you. That one you don't have to motivate for. We've already agreed. So you have one more. Honorable Shongwe?
Yes, Chair. I think I said Muiponi Molefane, that's the name I'm supporting, and Tembile Nkosi. If I had to correct.
You have one more. So you have between you Ms. Nkgopotse Phala and Ms. Yamyaleza Miti. Okay, if you don't want another one. Huh?
Nkgopotse will be the name, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't think that we will be able to choose for the PA on behalf of the smaller parties. So I'm going to propose that the Secretariat goes to brief Honorable Souls on the process where we are, so that he may... In fact, no, it's easy. There's only one remaining female in the PA list, and I think the subcommittee has agreed on females. So there's Ms. Sandia Daga. Because all the other names on the PA list are gentlemen, and we've agreed that we are focusing on females. So with that being the case, then, colleagues, we've come to a short list of 9 names. For the purpose of the record, let me read the names that I have. Ms. Melanie Roy, Dr. Natalie Skiepers, Ms. Muiponi Malefane, Ms. Chantal Manuel, Dr. Malunga Mancha, Dr. Refiwe Mkhudwana, Ms. Sithembile Nkosi, Ms. Nkgopotse Phala, and Ms. Sandia Daga. Can Secretariat confirm that my names are correct?
Chairperson, I can confirm that there's 9 candidates, and you've just read all the 9 names correctly, so and as they appear on the table on the screen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. With that being said, then, honorable members, I think we are done with the shortlisting process. I will request that the Secretariat begins the work of putting out those names for public comment as the shortlisted candidates. And I think on your behalf to thank everybody who would have nominated candidates. It was not the easiest of processes to be able to narrow down to the shortlist. The names will be put out for public comment, if I'm not mistaken, for a period of a week, and thereafter, then we will schedule the interviews once we've had a look at the parliamentary calendar and availability of members and also candidates for those interviews. Let me check if there's any other issues any members would want to raise.
Chair, if I may.
Yes, sir.
May I just see that list one last time? You went through the names, some of them I hadn't been able to catch. Is it possible maybe to have it put on screen?
Yes, Mr. Ngoma, and you also have your hand up?
Chairperson, thank you very much. I've just put up the table, but rest assured, Mr. Vilakazi, as soon as we are done here, I will have put the names in the proper, like I would list the names properly, not as they appear now. Just that I didn't want to do too many things whilst I'm sitting here in this meeting and expected to talk to the committee at any time. Chair, just briefly, Chair, I'll prepare a very short report for the committee to adopt when it meets at 2 o'clock this afternoon, just on the names of the shortlisted candidates. It's really going to be a very short report, just to outlining the process that we follow to arrive at these 9 names. Thank you, Chair.
So, Honorable Vilakazi, the highlighted names on the screen are then the names that we've agreed to shortlist. Honorable Subrathi?
Yeah, mine is to thank the honorable members and yourself for us achieving a consensus and agreeing on a process forward, and is to appeal to Secretariat that when they present the 9 names to us, to also just summarize in terms of the ages, the important information, whether they are colored females, black females, and maybe just a brief resume, background into those candidates. So in a single page, we have as members, and also the reference to the detailed CVs. So we have it captured on a single page. Thank you so much, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Honorable Subrathi. Okay, so we will then request a space, I think, in the opening remarks or after in this afternoon's meeting for the subcommittee to brief the portfolio committee that we have finalized at least this stage of the process to get concurrence from the portfolio committee before we can then put those names out. Honorable members, I think we are done. Let's not drag out the meeting unnecessarily. We will meet then in the portfolio committee at 2 o'clock today. Thank you very much, and you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
And you finished at 9:18, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Ngoma, don't motivate that. You are slave. You are slave drivers.
Goodbye, everyone. See you later.
Good day,
Later.